Hello and welcome to Falcon Blues TV. I'm Callum Davies, back with another match preview of this week's game where Everton are unfortunately hosting Wolves. It's a night match, Wednesday the 19th of May, 6pm kickoff, and we're going to be shown on Sky Sports. Before we get into the video, if you wouldn't mind going down, liking and subscribing, we'd really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Everton go into this game looking to do our first league double over Wolves since the 1975-76 season. However, we come into this game off the back of one of the more embarrassing results in Everton's recent history, a 1-0 home loss to already relegated rock-bottom Sheffield United. Now, in that game, we looked devoid of any real creativity despite having a pretty much fully strength side, except for the absence of Mina, who shouldn't really affect creativity that much. We created, I'd say, 2 good chances, aside from the penalty that we most likely should have got. Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin should have scored, but it's not really good enough against a side like that at home. It's been the story of our season. Wolves, on the other hand, succumbed to a 2-0 defeat against Spurs, who are still under the management of Ryan Mason. I thought in that game, which I watched, they didn't play too well. They didn't really defend all too well, and I think Harry Kane ran their defence ragged, which doesn't really say a great deal because he can do that to a lot of defences, but they didn't really offer a great deal on the offensive either. I think Adama Traore, for all his speed and strength, he doesn't really offer that much in terms of actual goal contributions, as the fact that he's only scored like twice this season. So Wolves, however, on the road haven't been brilliant. I think they've won 1 of their last 9, I read somewhere, but luckily for them, we've won 1 of our last 11 in all of 2021, only the 1 win, and that came way back against Southampton, a 1-0 win. So I think that loss against Sheffield United equalled our worst ever home losing record. So it just shows just how poor we've been at home this season and just how much it's let us down, really, because with that loss, it basically signalled the fact that we are not going to be ending up with any kind of Europe this year. If we are to win, against Wolves, we'll draw level with West Ham and Spurs, despite having a much worse goal difference. It is a chance for us to score some goals. Wolves haven't kept a clean sheet against Everton at Goodison in the last 12 games, so I suppose that's something to hold on to. And the fact that fans are going to be there, 6,500 fans are going to be allowed back into Goodison, which Ancelotti said after the Sheffield United game, he hopes they will wake them up. We need something because our home form's just not quite been good enough, and like I said, it's really let us down this season. So as I said, we had a lot of players back. I think that's the first time that we've seen the likes of Alan, Doucouré, James and Godfrey all starting together since October time, when everyone was fit. Since then we've been marred with injuries to them 3 players who would be regarded as some of our more important players. And Mina looks like he will be back, as well as Josh King. Not that Josh King will ever get any game time, but so it looks like we will have a full strength side except for Gobami for the first time since the first game of the season. It feels like that's what's the most frustrating part about the fact that we lost to Sheffield United. We can't even lay it down to not having a strong midfield. Everyone was fit. So it just shows that we really need a big clear out in the summer. Wolves, on the other hand, do have quite a lot of injuries. I think it was quite a lot of their tricky Portuguese players seem to be out. Podence, Neto, they're 2 tricky wingers who are both out for the season. Jimenez, obviously, with his head injury that he suffered a little while back, and Johnny is out. And then they have Marçal and Bolly, who are doubtful, possible, but doubtful. And in terms of Everton's lineup, I don't see where he could change it, because against Sheffield United it was our strongest lineup. We don't really have the pace out wide. I think the 3 at the back means that our fullbacks can push on and they can be the pace, because the likes of Bernard and Iwobi, they're not fast wingers, So we can't really rely, even Richarlison, we can't really rely on them to have all the speed. The three at the back can be as offensive or as defensive as you want it to be. And I think he wants it to be offensive against the likes of Sheffield United, but we just an awful day at the office. He could change to a 4 at the back, but I feel like that would limit how far Dean can go forward, because he'll have Adama Traore coming at him, and while, as I said, he doesn't have the greatest goal contributions, he still causes a threat with the fact that he's an absolute monster. Coleman's shown that when he goes forward, he's never really had the greatest cross on him. He just kind of hits it into a general area and hopes for the best. So I'd rather have Dean pushing on, but he won't be able to in a 4 at the back. 3 at the back allows the fullbacks to have a little bit more freedom, and I don't think he'll change it. Maybe he'll stick Mina in for Holgate, possibly, but other than that, I don't really see where he can change it, because that was our strongest lineup and they didn't do the job. Wolves, on the other hand, with the injuries that they have, I think they've been forced into a 4 at the back lately. They might stick with that. If Bolly's fit, they'll obviously go with a 3 at the back, but it'll be Patricio in goal, Cody and Saiss at the back probably, or Dendonka could drop into there if needs be, if Neves was to start. And then Ait Nouri and I think that Kiana Hoover, who they signed from Liverpool, is probably most likely to start. They don't really seem to have any fit right backs. Then that would mean the midfield 2 would be João Moutinho and obviously Dendonka or Neves, and then the front 3, but just behind Fabio Silva, who I think is a decent striker, just a little bit lightweight at the moment. He's still a kid, so I'm sure he'll get it eventually, but he's just been a bit unlucky and thrown in at the deep end with Jimenez's injury. And the 3 behind him, Traore on the right, Gibbs White on the left, and Vitor Ferreira in the hole. I don't really know a great deal about him, but I'm sure he'll probably just fit the mould of a tricky little Portuguese player. So I'm sure he'll cause us some issues, because if we have him running at our defence the same way that Sheffield United were given the licence to create the goal they did and just wander into our box, then it's not going to bode very well. So in terms of what it would mean, Wolves seem resigned to another mid-table. I think the mid-table finish, they're sat about 12th at the moment, and it seems unlikely that they could push much higher up. As I said before, if we win, we go level with Spurs and West Ham, who are 7th and 6th respectively, but then with City to follow, we're not going to push on, we're not going to get high goal difference. I think we are resigned to sitting where we are and just having to take it. However, Arsenal are a point behind us, Leeds are 3 points behind us, so a loss here and an inevitable loss against City could see us drop as low as 10th, which, considering the season we've had, which has been marred by injuries and a horrendous home record, we can't really say we deserve much else. If we were to have scraped Europe, which seems impossible now, it would not have been a fair reflection, I think, of how we've played this season, because we've not really been that good. We've scraped results, and albeit they are good results, but we've not been a side that's good enough for Europe. And if we were to be in Europe, I think we'd probably get taught a lesson. The only thing that would bring us a positive is that it might attract some better players, but I hope Ancelotti can do that on his own this summer and we can make a proper push next year. And as a prediction, we're playing at Goodison, so how can I go for anything other than an Everton loss? Like, it breaks my heart to do it, because every home game in the past it'd be, oh, we'll win this. I think we'll probably end up losing 1-0 or something, and I'll probably turn the game off with 20 minutes to go, because that's been the home games this season. They're just so disappointing, and we lack any creativity to break down a team, and then we can't keep a clean sheet. So it just does not bode well, and I just don't have any confidence in us winning again. You can let us know in the comments down below what you think the game's going to go like, whether you're a bit more optimistic than I am, but I think it'll be tough to find anyone with any real positive outlook after the last game against Sheffield United, which I think has signalled the end of the season for many Everton fans. So thank you very much for watching, and as I said, let us know in the comments down below what you think the game's going to go like, and up the Toffees.